Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside the War Room alongside Chris Schroyer. I'm Shrikar Rajendran. Alrighty. So here's the thing with Robert Whittaker. He's moving up. We know he's going to 205 for his next fight. He's went out and said it himself. There were kind of just some rumors before, but now it's officially confirmed, so we can do a video on this. And I guess the overwhelming response to it, Chris, is he's going to get chinned. And I want to do this video because I kind of want to address what Rob's chin will look like at 205 and why I think that whole argument is kind of misconstrued. But I wanted to get your general thoughts first on the move, just because it's next up for him. I guess he's moving up. Doesn't feel like he has anything else to do at middleweight.
Yeah, I personally think it's a good decision for him. I don't really think he's going anywhere too high in middleweight, especially towards the top. We know what's happening there. We recently just talked about it. We had a big main event at middleweight between Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez. And then, towards the bottom, we're having Reinier de Ridder versus Kyle Bahayo. Whittaker lost to de Ridder last summer, and you have Izzy sitting at 5, Brendan Allen at 4. I just don't think any of these matchups make sense to him.
Dude, Brendan Allen's at 4? Wait, so he moved into the top 5?
Yeah, and Izzy's sitting at 5 right now. Hernandez went down to 6. But I just don't think middleweight makes sense for him anymore. I feel like, he's already done a lot at middleweight. He's a two-time champ, right? I'm pretty sure he's a 2-time champ. One-time champ? Regardless, he's a middleweight champion of the world. I think that the light heavyweight division is a lot weaker than middleweight right now. There's a lot up in the air, and there's a lot of things get misconstrued when moving up a weight class, especially at higher weights. You could reference Israel Adesanya going from middleweight to light heavyweight to take on Jan Blachowicz in a champ versus champ fight, and then he kind of just gets laid on for mass amounts of time. But I think there's a difference with Robert Whittaker. I think he has a solid frame. I think he has the takedown defense to stop that. There really aren't many grapplers in this light heavyweight division that could pose a threat like that. I mean, if he's going to get taken down, it's going to be because the other guy is bigger and he's just going to lay on him. It's not going to be really because of skill. And I think that Robert Whittaker has the ability to stand with anyone in the octagon. So, he's getting older. He's sick and tired of cutting the weight. I agree. I don't think that it's a bad move, and I really don't think he's going to get chinned. I mean, he really hasn't gotten chinned.
He's never gotten chinned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you can count the Hamzat fight because he broke his jaw, and then it was just a face crank. So, actually, I mean, I guess Hamzat did technically chin him in that, but
it was a submission.
Yeah, it was a submission. I think he'll be fine, and I actually really like it, especially at this stage in his career when he could actually capitalize on a weak division and potentially become a double champ in 2 divisions.
And honestly, scoping out the division right now, if we look at light heavyweight, and I'll pull up the rankings actually right here, but I honestly think he's coming in as the most skilled guy in the division potentially, for one. I think it's close with a few other guys, but in terms of pure technical ability and pure, as Tyler likes to say, lighter man skill, I don't think it gets better than Robert Whittaker moving up to light heavyweight because all of that technical skill will end up transferring over, right? So I think it's a phenomenal move for him, for his, what his career could look like. And go ahead and bring this up for y'all. Share screen, boom, 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 do all this good stuff. All right, so now we have it up. Obviously, Pereira is going to vacate. That main event should be announced soon. We're recording this Wednesday, February 25th on the evening of Wednesday, February 25th. So they haven't made the announcement for the 327 main event yet, but ESPN did leak that it was a light heavyweight title fight. So I'm expecting Pereira to vacate and move up to heavyweight. I don't think Pereira is defending. So that leaves us with these contenders here. I give Rob a good shot against pretty much the entire top 15. And I seriously think he could make a title run. Just looking at the names that are in this division, Whittaker and Ankalaev, I feel, may not be the most favorable matchup because really you beat Ankalaev by pressuring him, and Rob is not someone that really stays on the front foot. majority of the time, unless he kind of finds the opportunity to do so. I don't think it's the same as like a Pereira that's stalking Ankalaev down. So it might be a little bit scary in that regard, but I think Whittaker can beat Ankalaev. You know, if it comes down to a point fight, I give him a shot there. Against Yuri, that'll be tough, but I think Whittaker stands a good shot there as well. Obviously, I do worry about him getting chinned in that fight, but I've seen Whittaker handle guys like Yuri. Like, it may or may not be dissimilar to the RDR fight. Carlos Ulberg, that'll be a great fight. I think Whittaker could win that in a point fight. Khalil Roundtree, I think Whittaker could win. Jan, who I think will be Whittaker's debut at light heavyweight. I think he can win. Obviously, Chris, then we would worry about the grappling factor there. But just scoping out just from the top 5 alone, I could see Whittaker standing a good shot.
I agree. I actually think Azamat could pose some problems for him, though. Azamat does, even though he is a striker, he does have the grappling background. I believe he's a Sambo fighter.
But I believe that will be the one fight here where Whittaker isn't really outsized in any way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to point out. They're kind of the same size, so it really wouldn't. There's not a drastic weight difference between the two of them. I really think that his biggest opponents in this, or biggest opponents to worry about, would probably be Yuri and Ulberg. I think those are the guys that could give him the most problems, just based off the sheer size advantage that they would have. I mean, those are guys that are probably cutting from, 235, potentially even 240. You could just see it when they walk in the octagon. They're bigger than everyone. I think he would do fairly well against Khalil. I think he would be able to stay out of the way of the big bombs that Khalil throws. And Khalil's a very technical fighter, and I think that suits Rob's game so well, as just the technical point fight. It's almost just going to be like a sparring match between them. And then, we talked about Jan Blachowicz, how he does have the ability to grapple, but he's also powerful on the feet. We can't forget Polish power. He can get it done on the feet. But I think that Streetcar was just mentioning it. I think that Jan Blachowicz would actually be a very good introductory matchup for Robert Whittaker into this light heavyweight division. It would kind of be like a gauge to see where he's really at. I mean, if he beats Jan Blachowicz, he's already going to be in the top 5, and then the hype train is back on Bobby Knuckes. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. I think the move is great for him, especially at this time in his career. No point in cutting weight anymore. I mean, just go where you're comfortable. Kind of revitalize your career after taking a few tough losses. Get some fresh blood in there and show the world that you're still one of the best fighters ever. I mean, this guy is one of the best fighters ever, and I feel like he gets undervalued and underappreciated so much. I mean, he's done some crazy things in the octagon. So yeah, I'm all for it. I love watching Bobby Knuckes get back in the octagon, and if this is going to get him back in the octagon sooner, and especially in a meaningful way, bring it on.
And I always much rather see fighters move up than move down, because if we're talking about getting chinned, your chin gets worse when you move down. When you move up, it's actually the opposite effect. Because you're not weight cutting as much, your chin will naturally be fine. We saw a big difference in Max at lightweight and Max at featherweight. We saw Max get actually chinned at featherweight, and now his chin has, it's gotten close at lightweight. Dustin Poirier knocked him down. Gaethje kind of semi knocked him down. But I think at lightweight, he at least looks more sturdy. He looks more healthy. And I think that matters. When we're talking about a knockout, it's losing consciousness. And that will happen. Your chances of that happening increase the more you move down in weight. So
right,
I see the complete opposite effect going on here. And also, if we look at Robert Whittaker, like physically, I think he has the frame to, really bulk up.
100%.
And add on weight. Like, he has the bandwidth to add weight to himself, which is going to be good. So in terms of getting outsized, I don't think that's going to be as huge of a problem if he really puts this weight on well. And I assume he will. So again,
sorry. Let me just cut in here. Especially, you just talked about the weight. I just looked it up. Dude, he walks around at 235.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Like, so it's no different.
50 pounds is a lot.
It's no different than what Pereira did when he moved up to light heavyweight. And hey, Pereira's chin got better when he moved up to light heavyweight. He suddenly became a durable fighter. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We see a lot of combos happening on Twitter, and we see everyone scared about Rob's chin. I'm here to tell you, it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah,
we'll clip it if he gets knocked out against Jan or whoever he debuts against, but it really should not be that big of a deal. And again, I feel like my mother is calling me.
Mrs. Rajendran. Yeah, no, I mean, one other thing that I kind of wanted to mention is obviously he's moving up in weight. There's no point in moving down for Robert Whittaker. Welterweight is the premier division in the UFC right now. And just as Shrikar just mentioned about, your chin gets worse as you cut weight rather than bulking up. I mean, welterweight is absolutely stacked. And for someone like Robert Whittaker at the point of his career that he's in, I don't see him kind of throwing himself into the absolute jaws of death by going to welterweight. Moving up makes sense. The dude is cutting from 235. He's giving himself some lenience. We've seen it happen before. When fighters move up, it rejuvenates their career. I think this is a great decision for him. And yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to see him in a new division taking on new opponents, because he's kind of just been playing ring around the rosy in middleweight for as long as we can remember. He's fought everyone. And, obviously there's some fresh blood in middleweight now, but do you really want to see Robert Whittaker fighting an Anthony Hernandez or a Sean Strickland or Hamzat again? Personally, I don't. I'd rather see him fight a Jan Blachowicz, or I think a Khalil Roundtree fight would be absolutely amazing. So I think it's great for him, and we have to see the results. We have to see how it goes, but just hearing the news and hearing it from him, especially now that it's confirmed, I'm very happy for Rob.
Well,
and I think
I was going to say, now that you mentioned Hamzat, what if Hamzat just moves up to light heavyweight? Then this whole thing is cooked.
Dude. Yeah, then it's cooked. Whole thing is cooked. That's another thing. Like, if Hamzat is moving up to 205, that just tells me he can't make weight at 185. And what I'd say is Robert Whittaker, just go back down to 185 and claim the belt, brother.
Yeah, I guess we really contradict ourselves here. Sorry if you heard that car speeding by in the background. 30-mile-per-hour road. I don't know why you're doing that, buddy. Better not get pulled over. But you may not have heard it. If not, it's all right. But yeah, again, I think the chin will be okay. It should be a smooth transition. We just want to do a short video on it because we saw a lot of people saying things about how it could be bad, and we just wanted to provide the opposite perspective per se. Because I've been a big Robert Whittaker fan for a while. Definitely one of the fighters that brought me into the sport. One of my favorite fighters in the game. But yeah, I think this is a great move for his career. And I'm excited to see who they put Rob Whittaker against. So drop it in the comments how you feel about the move, who you think Rob is going to be fighting next at light heavyweight. Socials are down below. Again, if you're new, make sure you like the video, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, share the video if you can. It'll help us out a lot. By the time you see this video, we'll probably be in the midst of recording our UFC Mexico predictions. That should be out Friday. And hopefully we have Sam on for that. No promises, obviously, but we might have Sam on for that.
Hopefully.
As well. And that'll be a very fun video as well. We got some big dog picks. Should be an interesting card. So thank you guys for tuning into the War Room. We will see you guys real soon. Thank you for watching.